Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Chicago News Report. I'm Max Goodman. Well, I think it's fair to say we know who Joe Biden is, Harris, Warren, Bernie Sanders, but this is also an opportunity on the national stage for second-tier candidates to make a name for themselves and try to climb their way up in the polls. Welcome back to the studio. Now, if you're walking down Mag Mile in downtown Chicago, you might notice something utterly out of place. Some surprising animals are populating this shopping destination. Let's go to Shannon Longworth to find out what they are and why they're in the city. And we're being told right now that employers now have to give their workers at least 2 weeks notice for their schedules. Wow, that's a lot of money, Shannon. And Chance the Snapper isn't the only animal that's been on the loose lately in Chicago. Chickens have been wandering the streets after some residents dumped them throughout the city. It's been beyond hot, Tim, and we have Carly Stone live in the studio to answer the question that everyone is wondering here in Chicago: will there be a break in these hot temperatures? Thank you, Nicole. Music to my ears to hear that the weather is going to be nice. And also, speaking of music, Thursday, August 1st is a day that quite a few people have had circled in their calendars for a long time. It's day one of Lollapalooza. There's sports, school, jobs, social life, all of those things combined, and studies show that this is really hard for student athletes like yourself. So in terms of mental health, talk to me about your 4 years and how was that experience for you? DePaul responded to the NCAA report that was released on Tuesday, saying that they did not agree with the suspension of their head men's basketball coach. Now, with that being said, they will follow through with the committee's findings and the punishments attached to them because they want to move forward as a program. So what we know is that 24-year-old Javier Cordero was pronounced dead on the scene by police after his vehicle hopped the curb and came in contact with that sign.
Now, with the Northwestern Wildcat football team in the middle of their season and playing well, manager Steve Mirzaheil told me that business is booming.
Preparations for this year's festival are already underway here in Grant Park as stages are being constructed, thousands of porta potties are being installed, and miles of fences and barriers like these yellow ones behind me. You can find them all over Grant Park. Hey, speaking of buns, Shannon, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile was grilling in Evanston on Wednesday, and let me be frank, you'd be hard-pressed to find a worse way to spend a bunny afternoon. When the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile comes to town, everyone relishes the opportunity to check this iconic vehicle out in person. Awesome. Oscar Mayer whistles were blaring. Yeah, they're gonna take out the driver's seat. Jingles were sung.
'Cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A.
And as Alex Hansher, who is also known as Alexandog, put it, the Wienermobile was once again the source of miles of smiles, catering to any and all age groups.
Well, we like to say that kids from 8 to 80 can enjoy a wiener whistle and can enjoy the Wienermobile. I found that the people that are most excited about it are like the adults that are reliving their childhood days. The kids are just like, oh, that's a cool hot dog looking thing.
Turns out Alexandog was more spot on than a pinpoint squirt of a condiment.
It's like, hey, why don't we go downtown and see the hot dog thingamajig? And it's pretty cool.
So what exactly was Phoenix's favorite part about meeting the Wienermobile for the first time?
I also really liked how you get to see and take pictures of the inside.
On the outside, this looks like any other Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, but on the inside, it's one of a kind. In a partnership with Airbnb on Lollapalooza, 3 different Chicagoan couples will be able to sleep inside of here overnight. This Wienermobile is one of 6 active hot dogs on wheels in the entire nation. But for a limited time only, this one was decked out on the inside into a cozy little hot dog home, featuring a TV screen, refrigerator, and sofa that pulls out into a bed. But when it comes to sleeping overnight in this wiener, besides the 3 lucky couples this weekend, Alexandog has puns to spare.
Ask me if I sleep in the Wienermobile.
Do you sleep in the Wienermobile?
It's not a weenie bago.
Welcome back. 1 week has passed since the fatal accident on Sheridan Road that resulted in the death of 24-year-old Logan Square native Javier Cordero. The debris has since been cleared, but scars from the crash still remain. At approximately 3 a.m. Monday morning, Javier Cordero's vehicle, hit the curb where Sheridan Road begins to bend, causing it to go airborne and strike the Loyola University of Chicago sign head-on before skidding to a halt just feet away. Half of the sign was so damaged it needed to be removed, but streaks from the car's impact are blemishes on what used to be a pristine welcoming symbol onto Loyola's campus. Now that the dust has cleared, both Loyola students and faculty believe something needs to be done about this sharp turn to prevent future incidents.
I drive this curve sometimes. I try to avoid it at all costs, but something needs to be done. I'm not sure aerodynamically what needs to be done, but I do need something needs to be done.
So I don't drive, so it's not like the traffic or anything is not an issue to me, but I just know that there always seems to be people crossing and people driving. It's a very busy corner right here.
The consensus among those walking around Loyola is that something has to change, and that either speed bumps or an additional crosswalk are a step in the right direction.
I definitely think the rumble strips and the speed bumps, because that's what's in my neighborhood in Rogers Park, and I feel like that helps to slow people down and help them be more vigilant, especially with people with families, and you have a lot of college students that may not be paying attention or on their phones.
I think maybe another crossing point somewhere around here, whether that was like below the street or above the street or at street level, something like that could help. Or just, like one of those things where it's like flashing lights maybe, although I'm sure that would not look so nice, but if it's for safety, it might be necessary.
Northwestern Wildcat football fans remember this play pretty well. Offensive lineman and graduate school transfer from Georgia Tech, Trey Clark, caught the 20-yard touchdown pass, giving Northwestern the lead as part of a 28-point historic third-quarter comeback in the 2018 San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl. For Clark, however, his first collegiate touchdown catch meant a whole lot more than just 6 points.
So my family has been affected by the rare disease community a lot. I had an older brother named Kyle, and he had Tay-Sachs disease. He passed away when I was only 1 or 1.5, and then when I got to high school, I found out that my uncle was diagnosed with ALS, with Lou Gehrig's disease. And I didn't know too much about it. It was still new to me, and he ended up, fought really hard and was just fought to the very end. He passed away my freshman year of college, so 4 or 5 year fight, and it was a tough time for me, a tough time for my family. A lot of emotions, a lot of frustration.
Clark's uncle was heavily involved with Trey's high school football team, attending every single game, even when he was sick. In fact, as Trey looks back upon his entire athletic career, it was a moment in high school involving his uncle that resonates the most.
I caught a screen pass against one of our rivals, Susquehanna Township, down the left sideline, and caught the ball from our quarterback and broke a few tackles and fell into the end zone. He was in a minivan parked in the end zone, right outside from where I was, literally 15 feet from me. So I caught the pass and I'm celebrating, and I look up and I see him and I pointed. I said, "That was for you. That play was for you." And that was, there's nothing that can beat that. It still, brings tears to my eyes just thinking about what he did for his family, and to be there to witness that play is definitely something I'll never forget.
So while Clark's touchdown catch in the Holiday Bowl was integral to the Wildcat comeback, it's safe to say there was a little extra motivation to score and honor his biggest fan beyond just helping his team. Did you think of your uncle as you caught that pass?
I did. I absolutely did. And my grandparents were in the stands. My parents and my brother were there as well, and just meant so much to all of us. And right away, after the game, I talked to all my cousins, getting phone calls and texts from all of them, and they said, you'd make TK proud. So
now that is how you end your college football career. From Evanston, this is Max Goodman, NNN Sports.
And I'm Max Goodman. We'll see you next time. So long.